Ooh, yeah. Freak out. Yeah, I'm looking right into the video scope, And this is Macho Man, #1 Macho Man impersonator, past, present, future, yeah. And I'm here to tell you, you are watching 49er Minded with Bashar. Yeah, the cream of the crop. Dig it?
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to NWO on the 49er Minded channel. Usually we run the show usually on 49ers First Takes channel. Aaron, great guy, awesome guy to collab with. Unfortunately, couldn't make it tonight, but we are here. And we got Ryan from No Border Sports, No Crypto. What up, Ryan? How you doing?
Doing good.
Cool. We got Beto from Niner Sickness Podcast. What's going on, man?
What's up, everyone? I'm excited to have some fun tonight.
Oh, man, you're already reading my mind, man, before I even know, man. So let me say what's up to some people who've been waiting patiently in the chat. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover. It's been like about a week since I streamed up my channel. Been dropping little mini videos, but those don't count. These are the real videos that count, the live streams. We got David McNiner, who I like to call MC Niner. He's here. We got John V. What's up, bro? How you? Hope you're feeling better, man. Good to see you. 49ers Throwback is here. What's up, Throwback? How you doing?
What up, Throwback?
Bebop. I love that name. Bebop Jones is here. Says, oh, yeah. We got Damian Lee. What up, Damian Lee? How you doing? We got
the truth.
Oh, yeah. I got Dave McNair already talking about Feliciano, which we'll get into. Yeah, man. Good to see you guys here in the chat. I know it's been a while since I streamed, but again, like I said, normally we run these streams on Aaron's channel. 49er First Take, and last week we did it on No Border Sports channel with Ryan, and so we're going to do a thing where we kind of rotate channels, and hopefully next time we do, Aaron will join us. He's just a little busy today, and things are going. But hey, man,
and next week it'll be on Bet Those channel.
There you go. On Niner Sickness channel next week. There you go. And hang on, I messed around with the settings. But yeah, I mean, before we get started with the Niner talk, any off-topic stuff you guys want to talk about? Anything you guys did for the weekend, or anything going on with food? Food's always a good thing to talk about. Or you guys just want to dive straight into the news?
Pepperoni combos.
Oh, okay. And for the record, before we start the show, I did make a mini Neapolitan pizza for myself. I didn't upload it, actually. I was gonna upload. I did put it on my Facebook in one of the pizza groups that I'm in. And I must say, it was probably the best tasting oven, conventional oven pizza that I made in terms of using the in-house oven. Usually I use the backyard pizza oven, which is amazing. But if you preheat a good conventional oven for about a good 45 minutes, 30 minutes, and you got a pizza stone going, there's a way to make it come out pretty good. Just saying. So how about you, Beto? How you doing, man? Anything going on with you?
No, I'm doing good, man. Thank you for asking. Had a great weekend, quiet, peaceful weekend. The wife and myself just hanged out, had candlelight dinner on Saturday night, watching a movie, talked, and just been watching Twitter to see what's the new updates with the Niners, and a couple of update things that we're going to talk about later on today. But really had fun. Glad to be back. I missed last week. Potentially I was going to be gone, but I worked things out with the boss, and I'm able to be back. And hopefully Aaron will give me my name back on the intro, because now I felt left out. But other than that, I'm good.
Hey, what type of romantic guy are you? You stop at the candlelit dinner? You didn't even try and rekindle the lost love? You didn't?
Oh, that was Sunday.
Okay.
You have to carry it over for the weekend, brother.
So Saturday night was the candlelit evening. It just went in real late, and Sunday was really getting it in for her, really handling, taking care of her.
That's it.
Okay. Just as long as she got taken care of, that's all that matters.
Tag team. All I can say is tag team, brother.
What a lucky lady.
Tag team back again. Yeah. All right. So let's get things started. I'm gonna set the mood right now. So I just want to
Brian Culp.
Oh, Brian Culp's here. What's up, Brian Culp?
Once again, congratulations on the baby, brother.
Yep. Little baby Murphy.
Congratulations, Brian. You
the newest Niner kicker, future Niner kicker.
I know you're a busy man, probably not getting any sleep, but we're going to get right into the Niner talk right now. This is going to set the mood. And yes, it has been brought to the attention of many 49er faithful. It's been a week since Jimmy Garoppolo has left the San Francisco 49ers and became a Las Vegas Raider. Yeah, he is no longer with us officially. He officially signed his contract. They had a little hold up, but there were some good times at the beginning. For a lot of us, there were some bad times, but he's gone. And I just say right now, we got to have a moment of silence. All right, so now we got that shit out of the way. There's been a lot of funny talk with this whole Jimmy G stuff. So it's pretty funny. I mean, we all know what he did with the Niners. We all know what he was capable of, what he could do, what he couldn't do. I'm not really here to bash him and talk smack about him, but there's a lot of funniness going on. Like, especially it was funny when like they were supposed to hold that press conference that one night, right? And all of a sudden they were like, oh, well, they canceled the press conference for Jimmy G. This means that he didn't officially sign his contract with the Raiders. And now it means he's staying with the Niners. Like, people were saying all kinds of crap on Twitter about this. And of course, later in the evening or the next day, they announced that he officially signed his contract. And that was that. So, hey, what's up? What's up, 49 dude? I see you, bro. 49 dude in the building. He's the guy who does my intro song for 49er Minded. I didn't play it for this show because this is the NWO show that we're doing today. But what up, Bear Baller?
What's up, Baller?
And yeah, I mean, now that Jimmy G's officially a Raider, he's signed his contract. He can smile all day on the sidelines with that bright Colgate smile that he has that women and some of his male fans must love. But the nitty gritty of the Jimmy G thing is, I just saw a lot of funniness being tweeted around and being brought up in various articles like, well, now we're going to see the real Jimmy G because Kyle held him back. What do you guys think about that? Whoever wants to go first.
They just got rid of Darryl Walling and then picked up, who they picked
Darren
up?
Waller. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
and then they just picked
Kobe
up
Myers, is it? Or
no, well, maybe something like it was, more of a stout running. I think they are just going to barrel down head with Jimmy G, and they're not worried about the passing attempt. So I wish we were playing the Raiders next year because they're just, a couple plays away from being one-dimensional.
Yeah, I mean, they have a pretty awesome running back, but it's like you bring in Jimmy G and his amazing weapon, who's not, who's like a poor man's Kittle. You could say some people say he's comparable to Kittle. Well, he's gone. They gave him up for what, 3rd round pick for the Giants. That's it. What do you think, Beto? People were saying that Kyle Shanahan. Go ahead, Ryan. You want to say something?
I don't think Darren Waller is comparable to Kittle whatsoever.
I mean, well, if you talk to the average Raider fan, they'll say he's better than Kittle. I thought he's pretty damn good, though. And I'll say that.
As far as a tight end who is essentially a wide receiver. Yeah, he was probably the second best tight end in the league. Like he's got the chance to be the second best. I mean, in that type of range, he's got the chance to be second best. I don't think he's beating Kelsey at any point in time until he retires. You know what I mean? But at any point in time, any season, that man could be second in yards when it comes to tight end numbers. But like, it's not the same. It's not the same type of person on the field.
And also, very, very few tight ends in this world can block the way Kittle does. What did you think, Beto, though, with this whole thing where people were saying that Kyle was holding Jimmy back, and now that Jimmy's going to the Raiders, you're going to see how good he really is?
Well, I know one thing for certain. A lot of fantasy owners are pissed off because they're not going to be able to draft Davante Adams anymore because his stats are going down big time.
He's got to learn to catch those little slants, those little 2-yard screen passes that are like 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He's got to get his I got to learn how to catch hospital balls game up.
Well, Davante Adams not known for catching the ball in the middle. He's an outside guy. He loves the hashes on the outside. He's the deep ball, and Jimmy can't throw on the outside. So I wonder how that's going to work,
bro. Imagine that locker room after that first hospital ball that he throws Davante Adams. Davante's like, how you gonna play me like that, bro?
Yeah.
Jimmy's look at my jawline.
Yeah, look at my jawline. I'll switch up with one of my girlfriends. Davante be all right. At least I can just score that way.
Jimmy is in the land of Las Vegas, and Lawrence has brought this up. It definitely hopped up in my mind, and that is like if there is a place other than Southern California where porn stars love to flock or live or do whatever, that's Las Vegas. So Jimmy, who knows? Jimmy might be worse with the Raiders just based on that, and with all the fun that he has off the field, and it'll take away from his focus. I mean, not trying to bash the guy. I'm just throwing it out there, though. He has shown that he has dated a porn star before, and
he went out to dinner with a porn star. I don't know of any relationship he's had with a woman ever.
Yeah, he just took her out. She was an admirer of his, and she took him out as a fan.
So he was just being nice to her. Okay, but you brought up the Waller thing. I mean, Jimmy loves throwing to the tight end. That's a security blanket type of deal where you throws in the middle of the field. People always say like, well, Jimmy has an amazing quick release. He has amazing quick release, and I get he has a good quick release. But the problem is, if it's only to one part of the field, it's predictable, And
did you just say Jimmy likes to throw to the tight end?
Yeah.
So why is he dating or going out with a porn star?
Because it's all a facade.
Because there ain't nothing tight about a porn star.
Oh my God!
It's all a facade.
All right, tuck your kids in bed. I know it's only 6:15 on the West Coast, but they definitely tuck them in bed if they're gonna try to watch this show.
Dodson and the girls aren't here.
No.
Well, Laura's here. What's up, Laura? I see you. Yeah, what up? David McNiner said, the Faders can have James Richard Garoppolo. Don't let the door hit. Where you know what, man? It's this whole talk of with Jimmy G winning games with the Niners, and I get it. He was taking snaps under center at the quarterback position, and we didn't win a lot of games with him. But I'm not going to sit there and like some of these other fans do and just give him all this credit for all these wins. Sure, he was a part of it, but I mean, we had amazing defenses, run game. I mean, the Raiders were scoring points last year, but their defense was never up to par. So I mean, it's gonna be really interesting to see if their defense actually steps up and helps their offense out. Yeah.
I like Laura Cat's point. Bring it up real quick, Bashar.
I heard he missed a press conference because he was at
the Bunny Ranch.
Maybe you never know. I mean, hey,
he was trying to score there because he's not going to score with Devontae.
But hey, Bashar, you were worried about us talking about that, and poor Laura over here, and she's like, yeah, he was at the brothel.
Yeah, so she's joining on the fun, I guess.
Hey,
so.
Maybe she doesn't co-sign on everything we say, but it's like, it seems like she could be in the same room as things are being said.
All right, so we got the Jimmy G part out of the way, but in our quarterback room with the San Francisco 49ers, we did announce the signing of Sam Darnold. I applaud the move. Okay, I like Darnold's skill set coming out of college. I know he didn't do anything pretty much with the New York Jets. He had one okay season where he had some better targets, but he showed flashes. It was the Jets, yeah. But, some people didn't like the move because it was Sam Darnold, and they see a lot of negative things, and they think he sucks. They think he's terrible. I still think he has a pretty good, strong skill set. He's only 25 years old. So we gave him $3.5 million guaranteed out of a $4.5 million contract. I'm okay with the move. I don't know about you guys.
That's a little less than double what we paid Nate Sudfeld.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, he's terrible. Well,
and we're getting a better product.
He's better than Nate Sudfeld, though. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, he's better than Sudfeld. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't see a problem in this at all. I like the move. I thought, now when you see that they could have got Mariota, maybe, you know what I mean? It's because it's somewhere around the same price. Not saying that Mariota wanted to be taxed like other people, but you know what I mean? If they're around that, I would have rather had a Mariota. But I'm not complaining because we've got Sam Darnold, who could somehow under Brian Griese turn it around and get us into his draft capital. Whether we trade him halfway through the season or he gets a $16 million contract next year, then we get picks for him, even if he's not under contract. It's like Jimmy Garoppolo. We're going to get a comp pick for Jimmy Garoppolo signing that contract because it was more than 16 million.
Yeah, we definitely get a comp pick for the Jimmy.
Yeah. So if we can get Sam Darnold rehabilitated to where he's not seeing ghosts, then there might be a chance that we could actually turn around and make a come up off of this.
It could be, and we're actually thinking we're still getting a comp pick for McGlinchey as well, right?
No, the McGlinchey, either the McGlinchey is offsets with the signing of Hargrave.
Okay.
We'll get one for Jimmy.
There you go. And really quick, I know Barry Baller dropped a comment in the chat. I didn't want to overlook what he said because you guys were talking about how the Raiders did sign a tight end. They picked up OJ Howard that he brought up, and he says the Raiders are in bringing in Hooper for a visit. Yeah. I wanted the Niners to bring in Hooper, but we re-signed Dwelly, and we'll talk about that later. But go ahead, Beto. Finish up what you want to say.
No. I was just going to say that I like the idea that what we're doing this offseason. And but I wanted to just let you know real quick. I don't know if Ryan noticed, but when you were talking a minute ago, Bashar, you went like from a 33 to a 45 on a record, and then you went back to 33. I don't know if that's something you want to look into, or was it just me?
I don't know. I don't know if people in the chat thought, well, I sounded like I was slowing down. I was speeding up when I was talking.
So maybe I said it backwards, but
okay.
So I heard something different, but it's probably just different on my end. I heard him like stop talking and then start again.
That part too. Yeah, that's when it switched.
See, I didn't have this fast talk afterwards, but I was like, oh, that's my connection just giving me a hiccup.
And maybe somebody's hacking into my StreamYard as we speak while we're doing the live stream. I don't know.
I hope not.
But yeah, so we pretty much said everything you need to say about Darnold, basically, or
no, I just wanted to mention back to Sam Darnold. Listen, Kyle wanted to give I think a 1 to the Jets at one point for Sam Darnold. He really believes in Sam Darnold. He really likes Sam Darnold, and he's glad to bring him in. I know a lot of people are not fans of him. I know he sees ghosts, but he went to a really ugly situation with the Jets. It wasn't even with the regime that is there now.
No.
Robert Saleh. So when Robert Saleh got there and LaFleur, they shipped him out to Carolina. And at Carolina, there was really no weapons there. And even though Steve Wilkes is our defensive coordinator, he's a defensive-minded coach and not an offensive-minded. So he kind of struggled there. I think under Kyle, with the way Kyle can get receivers open and the weapons that are here, if he gets the opportunity, I think he can flourish here, either stay with us for future years, or we can get him in a position where he'll be recognized not as a failure, but as a potential starter somewhere next year. So it was very smart of him to come here. It's smart of Kyle to sign him for a year. We don't know what's happening with Purdy, whether Purdy's going to start week 2 or going to be there or not. We don't know exactly what's going on with Trey. Is he going to be completely healthy or not? So it's nice to have a veteran that you can at least go in with healthiness until we get more status from Brock Purdy. So I like the move for a year. If he does great and gets a chance to play, my whole plan is he doesn't play at all. But if he plays and takes advantage of it and is successful in this system, then why not keep him? If anything, we can trade him. He can move on and we can get a comp pick for him. So that's a smart move in order for us to continue to go forward.
Yeah, the funny thing is like stuff that Niner fans have been saying on social media are so ridiculous. I mean, it's like either they're crying that we signed him and they want a bigger name at QB3. It's like, look, we're not going to spend all kinds of crazy money for a guy who's supposed to be QB3, but they want us to bring in like a legitimate starting quarterback and spend all this crazy money like that. If you're spending this amount of money for a guy with his skill and his upside, and you're only having him potentially be the third quarterback, it's a good move. It's a W. I mean, look at freaking Tyler Heineke's what 2 years, $20 million contract. I mean, come on, man.
We already know that Brock Purdy is scheduled to be back sometime around the start of the season, whether it's a month or 2 into it or whatnot.
If everything goes well.
Yeah, it's not like he's having the full reconstructive surgery.
Correct.
So if he was having the full reconstructive surgery, I think there should be talks about why aren't they signing a more talented backup.
That's a good point.
But since we already know what's going on with the surgery and we kind of already have an understanding, this is a great bargain or a value signing because there could be some potential in it. There could be, you know what I mean? And there could not be. And if there can't be, I'm sure he's going to be better than Josh Johnson taking snaps.
Of course. And one more funny thing I want to put out on social media. Then there's this other thing, and this is coming from the Trey haters. We all know who you are, and the Trey haters will find any angle they could possibly find to trash Trey. So this is a thing. When they had that video of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch reading the free agent signings, I'm reading the comments, and the first thing, and before I even clicked on the video, I'm reading the comments. Oh, wow. Look at the way Kyle Shanahan hugged Sam Darnold. Wow, there was some passion involved in that hug. I literally clicked on the video, and it's the same freaking hug that John Lynch and they gave to Hargrave and all the other free agents that we signed. It was the same exact motion. It wasn't anything, extreme when it came to Darnold. And then they're like, oh, well, this means that they brought in Sam Darnold to get rid of Trey Lance, and they're going to trade Trey Lance. And all this stupid speculation kept coming up. I don't know if you guys saw that as well.
I saw that hug.
I think it's
saw the hug, huh?
Because I'm one to like go in depth and like overthink things, right? And like I know I'm like that, especially like in relationships at certain times. You know what I mean? Like if I don't feel I'm on stable ground, anyways. But like, how are they going farther than I could ever go? Talking about a hug. You know what I mean? Like I don't even go that far. I'm looking at like, like coincidences, like this person was let go and then this person was signed. You know what I'm saying? Like, or this person was picked up and then immediately the Niners jumped on this person because they were trying to go for that person. Once that person's off the table, they immediately had to go for their second one immediately. There's no time to negotiate too much and try and get a cheaper price. It's just sign what you get now.
But even if he hugged him more over the other two, let's be honest. The other two guys are defensive players. They're more going to be on Steve Wilkes under his umbrella. Sam Darnold is a project that Kyle is going to work with personally himself. And he did like Sam Darnold, but it doesn't mean he likes him better than Trey Lance or he's there to replace. He's going to work with him. He's going to deal with him. The other two players is going to be beneficial to him as a head coach, but they're going to work with Steve Wilkes, not Kyle. So Kyle acknowledging Sam a little bit more, it's normal. There's nothing to read into that. He's an offensive player, not a defensive player. So people just need to get out of their feelings and hate and try to make something that it isn't. Bigger than what it is.
Yeah, they're always drawing up some funny angle, those guys on Twitter. Let me see what's up to some people that just got here. We got Fazil. What's up, Fazil? How you doing? Says, I like the moves. Damian Lee said, Phillip Rivers has more kids than the Rams have players. Okay, there you go.
That's true.
That is true.
David McNiner says, Trey Lance is our starter. Kyle started him in the second season because he knows he's ready. And what up, Javier Rios? We see you. Damian Lee says Trey Lance will ball out. I hope Trey balls out. I mean, I'm a huge Trey Lance supporter, but I'm also realistic too. I mean, Brock Purdy obviously has the hot hand, and we've talked about this over and over again. And if Brock Purdy, for whatever reason, those two battle it out, and somehow Brock Purdy comes out on top, I'm fine with it. It's the best move for the team, and that's at the end of the day, we want to win a Super Bowl. We want the best players out there.
McNiner said that Trey Lance is our starter because the second season he was the starter, right? But let's be honest. They gave a lot to trade for Trey, and they were going to ship Jimmy out anyway. So at that point, there was no better person than Trey Lance. I'm not mocking Trey. I'm not saying nothing negative so people don't read into it. I'm just stating the obvious that Trey was the guy at that point. He was the one that they gave up 3 number ones for to get. Jimmy's on his way out. So they were going to see him that way. Now, unfortunately, Trey got hurt, and unfortunately, Brock Purdy came in and played as well, as efficient as he did, poised in the pocket, making quick decisions, not turning the ball over, and extending plays with his ability to run a little bit. And he impressed Kyle a lot. Unfortunately for Trey, now it's going to be an uphill battle for Trey to try to win that job back. Trey needs to come in this offseason and prove to Kyle, this is the reason why you drafted me. And even if they didn't like Trey coming in when he started, what choice did they have? They had to start Trey at that point. It would have been his second year. They're not going to start Jimmy again. So Trey was starting by default. Now we're going to find out between Brock and Trey, who does Kyle really like? because now Brock is going to give Trey some competition. And if Trey starts week 1 and then Brock is ready to go week 2, and the next thing you know, we're switching to Brock, that's going to say a lot between the lines.
And like you guys said earlier, Sam Darnold's better than Nate Sudfeld. So by default, that's going to be more of a challenge for Trey too. So what do you think, Ryan? Mike.
Sorry. It all depends. What are we going to see? You know what I mean? It's so hard to speculate on something we don't know yet. Like David said, Kyle started him because he knows he was ready. I don't know if that's 100% true. I don't. I can't tell you if that's true. But it could be the same situation as like them continuing to play Brock or them continuing to play Trey this year, even though they know like Purdy can play, you know what I'm saying? But and maybe get better production than what they're getting out of Trey, but they need to see what they got. So that could be the same thing. We don't know. So until then, I'm really kind of just, just waiting.
All I know, if Trey loses to Sam Darnold battle, it's going to bring way red flags. I mean, talk about conversations.
God forbid. What up, Throwback? 49 Throwbacks here says, hey. I'm not sure what he's referring to, but hey, great to have you on. Like always, you're always.
He's talking about the hate for Trey.
Oh, okay, that's what he's talking about. Yeah, it's out there. I mean, sure, there's plenty of hate for if we can go back to Jimmy. There's plenty of hate for Jimmy, but Jimmy.
That's also the player haters ball. Hate.
Okay. I was gonna say really quick. Jimmy played multiple games for us to critique him, so it's a little different. But so let's jump into another topic. Let's talk about our tight end room because Ross Dwelly did re-sign with the 49ers for a 1-year contract. And what do you guys think about that move?
Why? I like the guy. I think he's great. We'd never use him. Why? Why bring him back? Is this like Kyle's way of making sure he never goes to another team and like someone actually attempts to throw him the ball and then like somebody sees, holy crap, they had this guy the whole time on the team who's just, diamond hand Dwelly. That's why I call him Diamond Hands Dwelly. And now what is up with this? Yeah.
They're bringing him back just because he knows the system. There's Charlie Warner's there, which is a better blocker and pass catcher.
They're
than
both
Dwelly.
one-dimensional shit, by the way, both those guys.
But Dwelly's a camp. Don't get it twisted. He's a camp body at this point. It doesn't guarantee he's going to make the team just because he got signed to a 1-year deal. They're going to draft a tight end, if not bring one via free agent to compete and not compete with. They want to do a 2 tight end set. And so they're going to bring in someone that is capable to pair up with Kittle. So just because we signed Dwelly doesn't mean he's going to be on the team week 1. He's just a camp body. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not worried about him. They signed him for the real minimal, and it's not costing nothing against the cap. So.
Yeah, and I totally forgot that he's a bit of a local guy, not from the Bay Area, but he's from NorCal, Sacramento, and I live out in that area, and that's all fine and dandy. Maybe he grew up as a Niner fan, but the reason why I didn't want him back is that we, like Ryan says, we weren't really using him. He's one-dimensional, and if sure, he's got good hands, but we weren't really, we weren't using that dimension of his game. What's so funny, Beto?
Because you're going, no.
Is it really speeding me up?
Yeah, I'm not messing with you, bro.
Yeah.
Really? Is it doing it to you, Ryan, as well?
I heard it. You're fine now to me.
It's probably
no, I will mess with you on live like this. Maybe off stage, but not live.
I know I'm in the same room as the wireless router, so I don't know if it's a connection issue, but I mean I'm literally sitting right by the wireless router, so it shouldn't be a connection issue. But oh well.
Bro, I've had issues, and my router is hardwired, and it's right there in the window, like second story.
Man. I forgot what I was saying. Something about the tight end about Dwelly.
North.
Okay, I remember what I was saying was about Dwelly. Yeah, Dwelly. To me, the Dwelly ship had sailed already, but we brought him back anyways, and it looks like we're probably going to be drafting a tight end or two, hopefully we do draft a tight end with some decent upside. There's a few good guys coming out, and I totally forgot that Hooper was available, and Hooper would have been a good guy to bring around. He's a Stanford guy. He's been productive in the NFL. I have no idea why we didn't go that route. I'm assuming he'd love to come back to the Bay Area.
He's visiting the Raiders this week.
Yeah, he's visiting the Raiders. I don't know why we don't bring him in, but maybe we do eventually. Who knows? What up, 49er dude? He's back. He says some folks don't learn why anyone would be so quick to trade off their first round quarterback after going through what we went through in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, some people are so stupid. Like back to the quarterback thing again. Really, I mean, they're looking way too into things about us signing Darnold and acting like he's going to take over and be the starter. It's like, no, did you see that this team needs quarterbacks? I mean, we're obviously not going to bring back Josh Johnson, and we're with Trey. Both Purdy he's hurt, and Lance got hurt, and now he's coming back. Sure, you need to bring in somebody by default. They just think way too much when it comes to this stuff. What about John V? He says this is talking about Dwelly. He says we brought him back for that one random road game where he runs an out route, and whether he catches it or not, it's irrelevant.
That is so true. And real quick on the Trey Lance front, listen, everybody has their own opinion. People get really attached to certain players. They love certain players, and that's all fine and dandy. You can buy their jerseys and support them or whatever you want. But at the end of the day, I support the logo. I got the logo tattooed on my hand, not the individual player. Whatever player gives us the best ability to win the chip is who I'm supporting. I love Trey. I love Brock. And if Sam Darnold comes in and really starts winning games and taking us to that direction, then I'll support Sam Darnold. I never disliked Jimmy. I just saw our limitations was hitting the ceiling already with Jimmy. We couldn't go further with Jimmy, so we moved on from Jimmy. But Jimmy did a lot for us. Yeah, well, yeah.
They're hitting the counter.
You support whoever is there if you're a true Niner fan. I know a lot of people, like, for example, when Joe Montana was traded to the Kansas City Chiefs back in the 90s, a lot of people followed Joe Montana. That's, to me, it's not a Niner fan. That's a player fan. And that's fine if that's your prerogative. But you got to support whoever is on the team under center that is giving your team the best chance to win. And that whole 3 first rounds for Trey Lance means crap. If Brock comes in and starts playing the way he played last year and continue to do better, I guarantee you to John and Kyle, those 3 first round mean nothing. They don't mean squat to them. If they get their quarterback and Brock, and I'm not saying Brock is better than Trey or I want, I'm just stating if Brock comes in, continues to play the way he plays, they don't care about those 3-round picks anymore. You can throw out the window. Well, you got to give him a chance because he's a first. Who cares if he's a first-round pick? If Brock is beating him out, then Brock deserves to play. If Trey comes in and kills it and shows why he belongs as the Niners QB1, then go out and earn it, prove it to everybody else, and get your spot back. Fight for it. But nothing should be given to you just because you're a high-status draft pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, and he himself said he didn't want to be given anything, but he did. He said all
for him. He's humble.
And for me, I was just saying this is that I even though when Purdy was balling out, I still wanted Trey to get that chance to compete because at the end of the day, he lost his job because he got hurt, and I just feel like Kyle ran him recklessly like an idiot when he should have been running so damn much. But at the end of the day, Trey's going to get. Unfortunately, Purdy got hurt. Trey's going to get his chance somewhat to show who he is. At least we finally get to see him come back, and we'll go from there. And I told myself, like I said earlier, I'm not going to stress about it too much in terms of picking one or the other because I know it'll be the right move for this franchise at the end of the day. Let me say what's up to Javier Rios. He says, Beto, what's up? Let's start a petition, Beto. Bring back Jimmy.
He's a Jimmy fan.
Bro, he is. Okay. Rick Diaz says, we got 2 young quarterbacks. Okay, I get what he was saying. He's kind of talking like Yoda or typing like Yoda there. It's funny how we jump back into the quarterback talk and we talk about tight ends. Let's talk about our D linemen because obviously the big move is that we signed Hargrave, which I love. And but today speaking about the Raiders again, we lost Jordan Willis to the Raiders.
That sucks.
We signed back Kevin Givens and we signed Ty McGill and we did bring him back a former Raider. We brought in a former Raider, Clellan Ferrell. So what do you guys think about the D line room right now with all the changes that are made?
I'm going first.
Yeah,
the only reason why, because I'm a big Clemson fan. Those that know me know that I love Clemson. I'm a big Clemson Tiger. and I follow Cleveland Farrell. I don't think the Raiders really used them correctly. I don't think the Raiders never use players correctly over there. You have to be like a Nick Bosa or a Crosby, just so good that no matter how bad they coach you, you're still going to look good over there. Arden Key couldn't play for crap over there. Came over here and looked like a freaking superstar. I think you have the 2 overall and the 4th overall in the first round in the same year in Bosa and Farrell. So I'm excited to see them work together at the end. And I think that's going to push, really going to push Jackson. I really want to see Jackson step up to the plate on that offensive line. Listen, bring in a Hargrave. People don't realize, forget about the Buckner, forget about whether this or that, we get rid of Buckner or not, or whether Kinlaw worked out or not. The fact is they own their mistake. They brought in Hargrave. Hargrave's going to now push that middle side into the quarterback. Who are you going to block? If you dare to block Hargrave, double up on Hargrave, Nick Bosa had 18.5 sacks when he was the only guy on the line. Now you're going to put 2 guys on Hargrave. Bosa's going to make you pay for that. And if you put 2 guys on Bosa, then Hargrave or Aaron Armstead, as we know in 2019, Armstead is a really good player, but he needs at least 2 better players doing their thing for him to elevate his play. If it's just Bosa and you got to depend on Armstead, you're not going to get the best out of Armstead. Now that you have double teams on Hargrave and Bosa, that's going to open up wonders for Armstead and Jackson on the other end, or Farrell. So I'm super excited to see what this front line does this year. We finally got that middle push, the thing that we wanted so bad all year last year. What did we talk about? Because we were so disappointed in Kinlaw's ability to be on the field that we were always talking to, can we just get a big dog in the middle of the field? In the middle of the field, can we just get that big dog? In my personal channel, I always said my dream pipe was to have someone like Hargrave. I never thought we were going to have Hargrave himself. I just said it's someone like him because I love the way he played in Philly. And I guarantee you Hargrave's ability to play in this D-line will be much better than what he did in Philly. So everyone, if you're not all wet for this signing, then I don't know what's wrong. You need to get yourself checked, man, because this D-line is going to, under Chris Kacerek, oh my goodness, talk about Bosa winning. He won the Defensive Player of the Year when he was the only guy that offensive coordinators were targeting. Now you're going to add a Hargrave to that arsenal. I mean, Bosa is just licking his chops, man.
So yeah, it's gonna be very exciting. Let me see what's up to 49er Tone. Longtime friend of mine says, "Let's go, fellas." Says I can't.
What's up, 49er Tone?
Like other people do. He has a YouTube channel as well. Check out his YouTube channel. Good friend of mine. What's up, 49er dude? We're gonna touch on that John Felicio signing. We'll get back to your question later. When we
Feliciano,
like Jose Feliciano, the guy who sings "I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad" or whatever.
Yep,
almost the same name. Says, what do you guys? What's up, Donald Johnson? Says, what do you guys think about the signing for the Giants? We're gonna get into that. We'll touch on that. Brian Kolb, what's up? Says, Mitch Wisnowski, the like button. You got 99 problems, but a Mitch ain't one. So, yeah, I'm excited about the D-line. I mean, keep in mind, we still have Kalia Davis coming back. He's supposed to be like a DJ Jones type player, a former linebacker converted to a D tackle. I was hoping that we would have brought him during the season. Towards the very end of the season, they had a small window to bring him in, but they didn't do it. Not sure why, but I want to see what he can do. This Hargrave signing is a great move. I mean, he was, other than Deron Payne, he was the D tackle to get in free agency, and of course, they franchise tagged Deron Payne, so we couldn't get him. Oh, and look who is here, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron for 49ers First Takes. What is up, bro? How you doing, man?
What up?
Never.
Your mic.
Oh, he's muted?
Yeah, now he's not. What's up, Aaron?
What's up, guys?
Nice shirt.
Okay. Good. Oh, yeah, you got your shirt going, man. Look at you. Okay, NWO 9er World Order. Let them know where they can get that shirt.
You can go on Bonfire. You can go in the link in my YouTube channel, and you can buy it there.
Bonfire.
He's from the 49ers First Takes YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to 49ers First Takes channel, subscribe to them. No Border Sports. Ryan Niner Sickness Podcast with Beto. Give us all that. Subscribe if you're watching it. You know, it's funny. I check my analytical data for my channel, and only 50% of the people that view my videos are actually subscribed. So it's kind of a funny little tidbit there. But yeah, we were just talking about how the defensive line room has changed a bit. You know, because we gained Clelin Ferrell, who, again, I mentioned it before. I know he didn't do anything with the Raiders, but him coming out of college, I thought this guy was a beast. And oh wow, I'd love to get him. And then lo and behold, we ended up getting the Bosa pick. So I was like, okay, cool, awesome.
Now we have them both.
We got them both, exactly. And I remember when Clelin Ferrell was at Clemson, my friend kept saying, I was like, man, he's pretty good. And my friend just kept going on and saying, well, he plays in an all-star defensive line. He just kept using that line over and over again about him in college. But hey, he's going to be pretty much being an all-star defensive line with the Niners, pretty much. So
he's like an Eric Armstead. As long as you have an all-star defensive line, they elevate their play. When you're the man of yourself, they can't do it, and that's okay because we have an all-star line, so it's going to benefit him. Definitely.
And it's funny because now people are saying that Kocurek is the guy that gets D lineman contracts. Once Niner D linemen leave the Niners, they get their nice little contracts. And hopefully Clelin Ferrell can get some production out of us under Kocurek. I mean, a lot of people are downplaying the signing, and but again, he still has a lot of potential in him. He's still young. So we'll see. What do you think about our D line room now, Aaron, with all these moves that have been made? We brought back Givens and McGill too. I'm not sure if you knew about Ty McGill coming back. And Jordan Willis went to the Raiders.
The interior defensive line is pretty set, but the edge is still a concern of mine. Clelin Ferrell, unfortunately, to me, doesn't do enough for me. He's a depth guy. He's proven that in his however many years he's been in the league. But I'm sure he has talent, and I'm sure Chris Zurich will tap into it. But you have to be realistic. I was hoping with all these days that have passed and all the defensive or the pass rushers that are still out there, the Niners might take a flyer 1 year on a, like a veteran guy. But they haven't done that yet. So I don't know. If the time continues to go and they continue not to make a move, that means that I would assume in the draft that the Niners are going to go either stay where they are and draft an edge rusher or move up and either draft an edge rusher or an offensive tackle. But I think the defensive line it's hard to say if they're better in a sense in the interior, but we lost so much depth on the outside that I would like to see another depth piece signing before the draft.
And when we lost Jordan Willis, I was thinking, okay, they let Willis walk up. Does that mean that we're going to make a move for a bigger name defensive end that's still available? I mean, there's a few names out there that are. Is it Arius Smith, Floyd? There's a few guys out there that we can still pick up, but who knows what's happening?
As long as these players don't get picked up by other teams and they're still sitting there, there's always a chance for us to still get them. When they go off the board, that's when I start getting more concerned because now they're not available. But as long as they're still there, that means the Niners could still be talking to them, and there's always a possibility.
And we got
100%.
Randy Daytona is here. What's up, Randy Daytona? Says a lot of defensive ends in this draft. I do like the D ends. I just feel like when we're picking at the very end of the third round, there's going to be some decent ones available there. Soon after, there's not going to be, in my opinion, there's not going to be much available, but we'll see. What do you think, Ryan?
When it comes to the draft, I think we might even move up. So if they feel they've got everything handled, and we'll get to that later when it comes to the offensive line and the new acquisition today. But if they feel they've got everything handled over there, then I see them moving up because Larry Krueger seems to think there's going to be good talent by the end of day 2 for us to pick up. So if that's the case, if there's anybody earlier that might go in that day 2 that the 49ers really like, I see them pairing those picks together, move up a little bit farther in the third round and get a guy that they really like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like Aaron said, I was thinking it's either going to be a defensive end they move up for or a right tackle, unless they just stay put and use those picks for those positions anyways. What I want to ask you guys was really quick. I mentioned Jordan Willis. I want to say I appreciate what he did for us. I know we traded away for him to get him from the Cincinnati Bengals, and he was an underachiever with the Bengals. He ran like a 4.5 40 coming out in the draft, but he didn't really do much with them. seemed like he did a little with us. And the thing I'll always remember Jordan Willis for is that block punt against the Green Bay Packers in that playoff game in the snow, where we could have put any points on the board and neither could Green Bay, but Jordan Willis blocks the punt, and we're watching that TV. I have no idea. When the punt was blocked, I couldn't even tell what happened. And the announcer was like, "Oh, it's blocked." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And I'm like, "Well, where's the ball?" And next thing you know, like everybody's looking for the ball, and Hufanga grabs it and then runs it in for the end zone. So, shout out, much respect to Jordan Willis. I know you're on the team that I hate, the Raiders, but I hope you do well. I hope you do well. And what I want to ask you guys was if you guys want to touch on Jordan Willis, go ahead. But I also want to ask you guys this: like, will this Javon Hargrave will it finally mark the end of Niner fans who keep complaining about us not signing Buckner? Because I still see some Niner fans who aren't happy and saying, "Well, why did they give Hargrave that contract when they could have gave it to Buckner?" It's like, look, that was a few years before. We weren't allocated. Now our salary cap has increased by $26 million, and we have a much less expensive quarterback room as well, where we don't have the Jimmy G salary to worry about. So we had more money. We have more money to throw around this year to sign a Buckner type contract. So well, you guys can go ahead and shed your light on that as well.
I think it'll continue to be something for a while, especially if I don't know, if Hargrave comes in here and does really well. They might say, like, see, they wouldn't even needed to make that trade if they just would have kept him. But you're right, it's different cap situation. No, Jimmy Garoppolo is on the books for quite a bit of money. So
tell him, Aaron, tell him.
I just don't care, honestly, what Niner fans think.
That's what I'm thinking. The whole time I'm like, I don't even give a shit.
I don't care. Like, this is a new year. Every year has got its own story. Hargrave was the best defensive tackle on the market, other than the guy who is re-signed and re-upped by the Commanders. So as much as I crap on the Niners for not being sometimes aggressive, like, I wish they would have gotten an edge still in this free agency, but to go out and get the best defensive tackle that's out there on the market, free agency market, it was huge. That means that they give a crap, and that this defensive lines might take priority number one again, like it did in 2019, which, if that's the case, I mean, good for us. But yeah, I'm like Ryan. I don't care about the defo shit. I'm so over it.
I was over it when it happened because.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Ryan.
Oh, yeah. Now I forgot. I'm sorry.
It's okay. If you remember, cut me off. Don't worry. Cut me off if you remember. I'm okay with it. But to Aaron's point, you know what? Those that love Defoe, he's over there with the Colts. If you guys haven't noticed, you guys can go follow his ass and watch him play over there. Money was different. Jimmy was on the books. The money didn't go up yet. It goes up every year, the cap. So there was so many circumstances that would not allow the Niners to make that re-signing of Defoe. And people are so freaking maddened where they're not bright. They don't know the numbers. They're just like, we should have just kept DeFogner if we're taking I just lost his name. Hargrave.
Yep.
Yeah, if we're bringing Hargrave, listen, the fact that the Niners realize, listen, all year long last year, and I mentioned this earlier, and I'll mention it again because Aaron's here now. Aaron, one of the things you've been crying a lot, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I meant like,
I got you.
Let me use it. Banging your hands on the table, that saying goes. It was for having a big boy in the middle. We lacked a big boy in the middle, someone that had power and force, because we were not getting the production that we wanted.
Who was talented, like
who's talented.
Whether pass rush, either pass rush or run stuffing, and this guy
and
does
we got both.
Right.
And so they listened to what you were saying. A lot of us, the Niners were, but keep in mind, I've been reading a lot of articles, and even though Daron Payne wasn't necessarily available, a lot of these scouts had Hargrave still number one over Daron Payne if Daron Payne was going to be available in this free agency market. So the Niners, they're not big spenders. They don't make big splashes, as we know. The last big one was the D Ford trade for the D Ford, which was somewhere in the same vicinity of $84 million. And they went out. They seen the need. They knew they had to put a push. They knew they couldn't trust Kinlaw anymore.
That's
Kinlaw was more of a rotational. And they went out and brought in Hargrave. So kudos to the Niners. And if Niner fans can't let go of Defoe, man, you need to go see a psychiatrist.
Other than you just need to become a Colts fan.
Yeah.
As far as splash plays, like this was like a 15 out of 10 as far as it comes to this regime. They don't make these moves. They don't spend this type of money normally, or since like D Ford and what's his name?
Quan Alexander.
Yeah, Quan Alexander. They haven't done anything like that. Yeah. So this was big, and I think it just all out of their drive to want to get over the top. They all they're sick and tired of being the bridesmaid, never the bride. And I think this was their way of getting the man that they needed to settle down with right off.
And what a man.
Hey, yeah, it's gonna be nice. What up, Brandon from Perfect Faithful Podcast? What's up, bro? He says, "What's up, fellas?" He said, "How's the knee going, Aaron?" So people are concerned about your knee surgery, and hopefully
it's okay. I've gotten better, but I told you guys I bit it coming down the stairs a couple of days after surgery. I think I strained my either the side of my calf or something, or bruised it. So I can't tell what is remnants of the surgery and what might have been me tweaking it. Like I made it to the last step and the step was slippery for some reason. And I did like the splits. And so my knee kind of hyperextended a little bit. I'm like, great, again. So, but it's getting better. I can move it now. Like when I get up from sitting, it doesn't hurt as much. So
I like to move it.
You need a 25-year-old blonde with green eyes to take care of you.
I do need a nice, attractive woman to come over and take care of me.
That's the way to get up and get around the house.
Definitely.
All right, I'm not trying to be a sexist, guys. I'm just playing.
Okay, so let's talk about the O-line because we just signed Jake Brendel to a 4-year contract. I'm kind of iffy on that move because to me, Brendel, sure, he's an overachiever. We didn't know what we were going to get from him during the season. He did better than I expected, but he was still like our second most penalized player, I believe. And he still got pushed back a whole lot. You can tell he's undersized at that position. He did certain things well, but there's a lot of things he can work on. And I'm just surprised that we're committing to him for 4 years. And I'm thinking they better have him up there standing in the buffet line, doing whatever he can to bulk up in the weight room because he needs to get bigger and stronger.
Did you see the cap number hits that he's going to provide? Hardly nothing. Oh, well, no, he's not. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
He's talking fast. Look at him.
Whoa,
that was fun. We gotta re-see this on replay.
Yeah, 53-20.
Yeah, you gotta watch. Yeah, you're like this. No audio.
You guys, that's just for the highlights. I'm gonna kick you off, Beto. You keep making fun of me.
I'm sorry. I'm just don't do it. But yeah, man, it's funny shit how fans just they can never be happy. We got the best freaking interior lineman, and now a lot of these fans are worried about the opposite side because we lost a lot of players. Maybe they know something about Jackson that we don't. Maybe they see Jackson taking the next step that we're not aware of, and yet we freak out.
You're talking about Drake Jackson?
Yeah, Drake Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm defensive guy. Sorry, I always revert back to defense over offense. Offense is too boring. But yeah. So I really believe that they see something in Jackson there, and that's why they're not worried about too much on that. And offensively with Brendel, it wasn't the cap. It's going to be like 2.2 against the cap each year that he's here, and he was serviceable enough, which he could get better, and he's not going to cost nothing against the cap, and that's something that they look at as well as value.
I think Randy brought up a great point here in the chat. Brendel has been working with Trey since the beginning, but he's also been working with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, good point, Randy.
So they're securing the center that everybody knows and trusts, for 4 years, which I haven't thought of it. I thought when he first brought that up in the chat, I thought that's a great point. This is probably why it is. It was, you sign him now while he's cheap. He was just an alternate for the Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully everything's up from here. So you're talking about you sign him in for a 4-year deal, which means what? That's more of a long-term deal. 4 or 5 year deals means you really like somebody and you want to keep somebody. So to that, you know what I mean? Look at Debo's.
Well, you know that 4-year deal is only two, right?
Oh, is it got
it has, yeah, the last 2 years, the last 2 years of the contract, you can get rid of them,
but then
not costing nothing.
But then you can also extend them under those years.
But yes, you can. So it's a win-win for the Niners. And now, they get rid of Brunskill, which some people were disappointed, and we'll talk more in depth about the guy that we just signed. But I love the moves they make. They get rid of certain player, and they bring someone they can do the job as good or not better. And this kid that we brought in can play all 5 spots in the offensive line. So that's good.
We lost Brunskill, but we did bring in this new guy, John Feliciano, for the New York Giants. He's 6'4", 325 pounds. He started 15 games for the New York Giants at center last year. I heard some mixed reviews about his style of play, but I did see one clip of him where he was at the center position and he rolled out and on a pulling type play where he pulled out, and he could move for a damn big guy. So that's why I know why Kyle brought him in. He likes his mobile offensive lineman, especially one with size like that.
Did you hear the other guy they're thinking about bringing in?
Who's the other guy?
Tommy Huxley.
Oh, hang on. I was going to wait for Aaron. Ready, Aaron?
They're bringing him as a tight end.
I'm not in on that today.
They brought him in as a tight end. Hopefully they can convert him into a wide receiver.
But I wanted to read this comment from 49er dude. He said, so it's a John Feliciano pickup center competition or guard or both. We need a right tackle. We definitely do. Explain this move. It's weird to me. I'm thinking Feliciano is going to be kind of like the Brunskill, kind of like utility guy, and who knows, maybe he'll give Jake Brindle a push. He was the starting.
Brad Graham seems to think that he's going to move to right guard and that they're going to push Spencer Burford to tackle.
He was a guard in Buffalo Bills.
So, he was a 15-game starter last year. Why would he be a backup on the line? This makes no sense.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
My only issue with pushing Burford to tackle is I don't know what he could do at tackle on an NFL level. That's my only thing,
You don't, but they have seen more about things than you have, and I believe he played tackle in college.
He did play tackle in college.
But he also just mastered and to perfection and getting better at guard. He just played 1 year guard. He wasn't doing too hot. That's why they brought Brunskill in. But he got 60% of the snaps, 40 going to Brunskill. They let Brunskill walk, meaning they're comfortable him being there. I just don't see him moving over to tackle and having to learn that all over again when he just started to feel comfortable at guard.
It might not be learning it all over again. The reason being is
it's not too far removed.
We're not learning challenges. The tackle brings more challenges or different challenges than from the guard position. So maybe not relearning is the proper word. But he might be challenged differently.
One of the issues he might have had last year was his stance. And that might be one of the reasons why they're doing what they are now, is because as a tackle, you're usually in a 2-point stance, right?
Yeah.
So as a guard, you're in a 3-point. So you're talking about taking a guy who's had, high school and college career all in a 2-point and then putting him down at 3-point. At some point, it's tough. Like I remember I used to tape weights to my helmet. And so when I was watching TV at home, I was wearing my helmet with tape on there so my head would have enough strength.
I would have liked to see that picture.
Oh, it was crazy. I literally taped weights to the top of a helmet, and I sat there, watched TV, just strengthen my neck because it was able for when you're on the offensive line like that and you can't keep your head up, you're going to get really injured because your head's going to go down, and that's really dangerous.
You also have Viagra, but that's a different thing.
So Randy Daytona is going on a limb here, saying McKivitz will be a Pro Bowl alternate.
Whoa, Randy!
I don't know about that.
Whoa, Randy!
Where would he be starting?
What are you smoking there, Randy? Give me some.
We just complimented you a few minutes ago. Now we take it back.
We just brought in a guy who's a 15-game starter, and you're talking about we don't know where he's going to be, and then you're thinking McKivitz is going to be
if he plays all 5 spots. You don't think they'll put him at tackle?
Who?
The guy that we just brought in. Joe?
No.
He played everything but tackle.
Or
He
did
played
he?
every-
Played
yeah.
left guard, right guard, and center.
Oh, so
Yeah.
he never. Okay, I thought he played all 5 spots.
No.
Okay.
I did for a second too, but then I went
Looked
and
more
watched all
into
the
it?
people pissing all over themselves about him. Like,
He looks
can
like
do
he
this
could
and
be one.
that.
He looks like he could be one. It's just he doesn't have the time there, so he doesn't have his kick. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't. That ain't his thing. He doesn't know what it's like to be on an island.
True.
We did lose McGlinchey too, so he's we don't have to worry about
Did we
him
really
anymore.
lose him?
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I did a little reconnaissance on their new guy John, and it seems like one of the fans that I was seeing a video of, he was acting like he was there, like John was there, Mike McGlinchey. Like,
Oh crap!
That was the stuff I was reading too. I was reading some stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, the guy's like, breaking news. That doesn't mean anything. This guy's gone. Bye. You won't be missed. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Worse than what I said about Jimmy. Like he was like no remorse. So, but also he could have been playing out of position. He might be a better guard than he is a center.
Like I was telling you, I saw that one clip of him. This guy can move for an offensive lineman, and he's a pretty big 6'4", 325. So maybe our Chris Forrester, Forrester is a very good offensive line coach. So I'm curious to see what we do with him. I'm not gonna raise the bar with my level of expectation for him, but I'm not gonna necessarily listen to all that chatter either. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. So Randy Daytona says no one likes Burford or Banks or Brenda Lester. I love Burford and Banks actually. Brenda I was iffy on. Other teams will kill for those 3 right now.
Nobody liked Burford, really.
I like Burford.
Nobody liked Banks.
Spencer Burford.
Well, Randy, you're speaking a little too much for everybody. Just saying.
Well, people were calling him Spencer Buford. That was their first problem.
So we got a question from Tommy Huxley. He says, "How is Surgery Boy doing tonight?" He's asking you, Aaron.
Okay.
Aaron, you know what? Last time I saw you on with Raj, I saw you cracking jokes. I saw all this comedy coming out, and I don't know. I'm not getting that same vibe from you today, Aaron.
Not a good day.
Okay, well, we got to find a way to make this guy smile or laugh. So somebody drop something in the comments, or Beto might have to do one of his crazy voices.
I'm sending a hooker over your house in about 10 minutes.
That's not a good idea.
Hey, just tell mom not to answer the door.
What up, Corey Davis? I see you, bro. It says 49er minded. What do you guys think of Russ Dwelly coming back? We did touch on that earlier. I'm not a huge fan of it, I'll be honest with you, but they're maybe just bring him back as a camp body, and I'm assuming we're going to draft some tight end out there. I was hoping we bring in Hooper. I don't know. We'll see.
I like Ross. It's just that we don't use him. Why is he back on the team?
I got it at Ross.
I know a lot of people are thinking that it's not a year to. I saw somebody say it's not the year that we need to really worry about drafting a tight end, and I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like,
Who said that?
What did they see on our team?
I saw it on Twitter somewhere. They're like, this doesn't have to be the year where we have to draft a tight end. We'll be just fine with Kittle. I'm like, dude, the draft's loaded with tight ends.
Kittle and who else?
This has to be the year because
even if it wasn't loaded with tight ends, we need a freaking help.
Now, I listen. When it comes to that logic, when people say maybe we don't have to get a right tackle this year, I agree with that. You know why? Because we don't have a first rounder. Next year, essentially, we could take the first rounder and maybe some other mid-round picks and move up and get the tackle of the future. So technically, if for this year we didn't get the tackle of the future and we kind of pasted it together, then I would be okay. As long as next year's draft was the kind of the place where they decide, okay, Trent Williams is going to be here for one more year. Let's go get his guy. But right now where they are, they would have to trade up a whole hell of a lot. And would you really go to the second round just to get a tackle that might not even play this year? So.
Hey, real quick, Corey Davis wanted me to ask you this, Aaron. He wanted me to ask how far from Middlesex, New Jersey you are.
5-hour drive, maybe.
Hold on a sec.
You'd have to look that up on Google Maps.
Did you say Middlesex?
Middlesex.
Well, dog, diggity dog.
So Tommy Huxley says, Aaron, can you paste my flower back together?
It was a joke.
Oh,
I was just saying Middlesex.
I
Trying
want
to get him to laugh.
I'm going to open up to another topic, and it's the final topic. But did you find out how long it takes, Aaron?
No, I said that I couldn't ask the question without verifying my voice. I don't know.
Oh.
Your computer doesn't trust your voice, I take it, huh?
Which is weird because who in the world, who else in the world besides maybe 4 other people have my voice? But whatever.
Yeah, people think I sound like Kermit the Frog and John
Kermit
Romano.
the Frog.
Yeah, Kermit.
What up, Dion for Niner Gang Podcast is here. I forgot to shout you out earlier. I see you. Check out
at least
channel.
I don't look like Beetlejuice from freaking the Whack Pack.
Oh my god,
bro.
Beetlejuice is a
might not be pretty, but at least I don't look like Beetlejuice. That's all I got to say.
Speaking of which, he seems to be doing fine lately. I talked to him just the other day.
real quick, guys. I just want to know: can we get 20 freaking people to like this channel? God darn it!
Show some support.
Show us some support.
You know, you gotta drop the F-bomb. If you say that line.
Just because you support that chubby security guard.
I had a run-in with him the other day too. Oh.
I'm glad I made you laugh, Aaron.
Oh, you definitely made me laugh. You're gonna get the freaking bullseye put on my back again, like.
Well, you already got the bullseye pointed at you with all your Twitter rants, man.
Oh, it was hilarious.
My Twitter rant. What, the fact that there's people that have come out of nowhere in 8 months and already have more of a cult following than a guy that's been on freaking YouTube 4 years. Yeah,
I feel you.
They can freaking kiss my ass. I really don't care.
All right. With that said, let's talk about. So we covered almost every position group.
Have we acknowledged Dion at all since he came in?
I said, "What's up to Dion?" Yeah, Dion for Podcast.
What up, Dion?
Dion, we got to show you some love, man.
I just didn't hear it. But
hang on. Everybody subscribe to 9er Gang Podcast hosted by Dion. There you go. I hope that was worthy.
Dion definitely hosts the shit out of that channel. He does all the talking.
I got to do the Palpatine for Damian Lee.
Wait, why does he keep typing about Palpatine? I don't get it.
He's talking about me. He's saying I'm Palpatine.
Oh, okay. I know that's some character from one of those Star Wars movies. I know Aaron was telling me about it.
Palpatine, it's the Emperor.
Yeah.
Emperor, it's the bad dude.
All right,
the guy that has the wrinkled face that talks like this.
So before we end the show, we're just going to touch on the secondary really quick because we did add a couple of new pieces. Isaiah Oliver, who I thought would be a decent signing. He's shown that he can play, over in Atlanta, and now he's not living up to his billing as a second round pick in terms of what people thought he would be coming out of college. The other guy we picked up was Miles Hartfield. If you guys want to touch on the new pieces on the secondary, and we also re-signed obviously Tyshawn Gibson, so that's a really, really good signing for free safety. But I know there were some other names floating around for safeties and corners that people wanted and that we didn't get. So if you guys want to touch on the whole free agency with secondary, go ahead.
I'm really, really bullish on the fact that we were able to re-sign Tyshawn Gibson. That was probably a low-key, I think me and Beto even talked about it. It was kind of like a low-key worry. Like, man, if we have to replace a safety too, that would kind of suck. Like, wait till the draft.
Especially in this market.
Right. Wait till the draft gets somebody in the third round and maybe we'll, put him in next year. But that was huge. Absolutely huge. And these DDBs that we're bringing in, they're really just depth pieces. John Lynch is doing his due diligence. We talk about it. We make fun of it. I get pissed off about it a lot because I think it's a bunch of hogwash. But Niners are rebuilding what they do best, and that's their depth. Guys that have had a starting role or maybe had a starting role but weren't quite up to snuff. So they're going to come in and be in more of a rotation, which maybe that'll fit them more. Don't overexpose them, kind of like Clelin Ferrell or Isaiah Oliver. He seems to be better in the slot than in the outside. He kind of was exposed on the outside, where in the slot, he's a big slot guy though, which is interesting. Because most slot guys you want him to be like 5'9" and 195 pounds, but this dude's pushing 6 feet. He's long, so definitely good. Hartsfield, I forgot the name, what the deal is with Hartsfield. I posted something about it.
Well, he was a project for Wilkes over there in Carolina.
Yeah.
So I think Carolina, he just brought him in to continue to
He
work.
can play safety. He can play safety and corner too. So once again, the Niners are kind of giving themselves a good favor because, the Niners get hurt all the time. So why not have guys that can play multiple positions? So I'm cool with that.
I think these are guys all that Randy's or Steve has all had on his list to go after. You know what I mean? Like if he was going to build a team, these are the guys he'd start with right now because there's something he sees in them that he's like, I can work with that. Like there's things that Chris Kocurek is looking for in defensive linemen. Going, I don't care about anything else. I just need to see this and this, and I know I can work with this guy because everything else we can work around. You know what I'm saying?
That's a valid point there, Ryan. Because not only that though, but I'm pretty sure Kyle told Steve, this is the amount of money you have to work with. So you got to look for guys that we can bring in that you feel that are great at this level of money that we're going to pay. Because I'm pretty sure there's better players out there that Steve would love to bring in. But if you have a certain bracket, and so a lot of people are like, why don't they go after this guy or that guy instead of this 2-tier? It's because of the bracket that he's playing with, and he's bringing the best players that he can work and develop under that bracket.
They've already got starters in those two positions too.
Exactly.
So like, you're not going to bring in another top level guy. You get the best at that particular level, whatever level he plays at. If his level is 75 and you get the best 75 player, then that's, I don't know, man. Like, I think the Niners have a really great roster. I just think there's two things they need to do in the draft or whatever. Right tackle, and I want a rush end. Get me an edge rusher, please.
We might have it.
Draft who?
And as far as the secondary goes, just remember there's a lot of good corners coming out in this draft.
Right.
So
and there's safety. But a lot of people are like, we might have something with Drake Jackson, but numbers wise, we don't have enough.
No, we need depth. Yeah.
Edge guys.
That for sure.
So if you were to start the season tomorrow with Drake Jackson and Clelin Ferrell, that would be a very underwhelming considering the other three guys you got on that defensive line.
Yeah, we're not done though. We're not done.
Even if it was, listen, I would be okay with Justin Houston for a 2-year contract.
I would too. He's older, but he's still productive.
He's old, but he always produces. He gets like 10 sacks a year. Everybody's talking about the Za'Darius guy. He's technically still on the Vikings. He hasn't been released.
Oh, he won't because it's already past the time frame. So he's on the team.
If need be,
he's not going to get cut no more.
Eric Armstead can also play defensive end.
But I want him to stay where he's strong at. I'm not like poo-poo.
I don't like Armstead rushing the passer at the end at all, though. Man.
I'm not saying that you like it, but what I'm saying is that's a way you could have four good defensive linemen on the front.
So who would be your other defensive tackle to move in? Givens?
Kinlaw,
shit.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're gonna have to keep Kinlaw because we owed him. We had to pay him money. He'd still be on the books if we got rid of him.
Mr.
We don't have to keep him. We just have to hold him past June 1st, and then we can cut him and save $2 million.
Small, undersized reporters.
Or trade him. We could trade him and save $2 million.
No team's gonna want to trade for him.
That's not necessarily true.
Hey guys,
you really think somebody
sucks at football, but he'll be really good at security as long as you're 5'9" and weigh 170 pounds.
You might be able to swap him for another player.
Well, even elephants are afraid of mouses.
Uh-huh.
Like you might be able to swap him player for player. Like, hey, this guy's not panning out for you. This guy's not panning out for me.
I heard a player that you were talking about. I think it was there's somebody was putting that out there. They were putting it into the nether world.
The lexicon.
Yeah, it was like Kinlaw for some other guy. I think he's like an offensive tackle that didn't work out or something. I know you know what I'm talking about. It's been out there, but
I don't. That's been my thought.
It's been somebody throwing it out there. They keep repeating the tweet, like because I don't see stuck on repeat or something.
I don't see anybody giving an actual draft pick for him. You know what I mean? So that's
it would have to be some type of player trade.
Give you a 6th rounder for him.
They may package him with some draft picks this year
and a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, really. But you know what? Like you said, you want depth at defensive end.
Yes.
Maybe they feel comfortable with Jackson and Ferrell, and then they're going to go heavy in the draft and bring some good bodies in.
It'd be nice if they went back to back with 2 picks and got 2 edge guys immediately.
Hey,
What if we
that's
tried
high on
Javon
board,
Kinlaw at the edge?
Javon Kinlaw can't play edge. He can barely play interior.
Why not?
Remember
see,
when
this
he
is the
tried to
thing.
chase down Russell
Yeah.
Wilson in that one game against the Seahawks, and he, oh my god,
Hold on.
That dude has bad knees, bro. He's not coming. He's not going to bend.
Exactly. This is you don't necessarily need to bend. You just need to get around the corner. You don't always have to bend to get around the corner, but
it helps.
When you're playing outside, you won't have as many bangs on your knees coming in from all sorts of directions.
Except for the running backs chipping. That's all.
All this, well, you can go. He can go over the top of them.
I'm sorry. I'm being a jerk.
He'll flip any running back's hat off. Who does that to him?
Yeah, if you're wearing a hat, he'll freaking nail you, dude. 10 times out of 10.
I
like he's doing his little patty cake training. When does that ever happen in a game? When does that happen in a game?
Well, people were posting those videos. Look at Kinlaw working out, and he's like punching, like dude.
Look at him slapping at air. It's like he's slapping a hooker.
You can line up like 1,000 videos of different players in the NFL working out. They all look great in the gym. We're talking about what's on
you
the
could
field.
put Charlie Murphy and superimpose his head right next to Kinlaw when he's doing those slaps, and it would fit perfectly.
I mean, he slapped the hat off Grant Cohn real easily and smoothly, but he couldn't do shit this year. So
right.
All I'm gonna say is
I got bigger balls than you. What are you chewing on, dude? What were you eating?
I'd love it if Kinlaw was watching it. He was in the chat and say, "Hey, give me a link. I want to come on here." The same way he did it with Grant. And, hey, give me all the views and all the subs because of that.
Wow.
I would just tell him that I live with Aaron.
I quote tweeted that tweet just saying
we could take him down. We just got to go for his knees, Beto.
I really no true, huh? We'll pick up Ryan and throw him at his knees.
Yeah, between the four of us, that dude ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
I got one good punch with my right arm, good left in me. Ryan can use some of his wrestling techniques, and Beto can just.
I'll just sit on his ass.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be mean. I was gonna say Beto can sit on.
Me, bro. I have no feelings.
And then we'll eat pizza in front of him with Bashar. We'll just sit there and eat it, slather it everywhere.
Oh, we're taking a turn for the worst right now. Let me ask you guys this before we end the show, because I've seen a lot of arguments or a lot of debate about this on just in social media in general, and so some Niner fans were like, "We've gotten better. We're better as a team right now." Or some of them like, "No, we're not better because Jimmy Ward left." And So what do you guys think the Niners are right now?
They're not done. Yeah. It's hard to. For me, it's hard to make that
great.
They're not done. The free agencies, second wave just starting. There's still the third wave. There's still the draft. For anybody to make, at least for me to make an assumption how good or bad they are.
22 of 24 starters are returning. So I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah,
I agree.
Me too. What about you, Crypto? He's the guy. My microphone's all the way over there.
Well, I was trying to say something. I kept on getting cut off, so I was like,
"Oh, don't get pushed. Don't. You know what? 2.0.
Freaking 6'4". Don't get sensitive.
I ain't flipping no hats.
I'm just kidding.
Your feelings. Oh, they don't let me talk.
Well, I'm sitting here trying to say shit, and then the next thing you know, someone's like pauses for like 5 seconds, and then they come in like an extra 6 seconds later to interrupt again. So I was like, well, fuck it,
we'll do it live.
There you go.
I got a problem.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Right?
Pinche llorón. Don't cry.
You don't see no tears, bro.
No alligator tears.
But go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, I don't. It's
you just wanted to bitch.
No, it's like what are we talking about? Like you said, they're not even fucking done with moves.
It's not even that we're still in March.
Yep.
Yeah, we haven't even seen what they're drafting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
After the draft is done, then we can actually start really, looking into what they're doing, because at that point they might have one, maybe two more like actual people they're picking up as just to, camp bodies and whatnot, free agents, the undrafted free agents. So it's just
we could pick up somebody from the XFL for all we know. Some stud from there. Have you guys been watching? You guys been watching the XFL at all, or
no?
I've been watching a little bit. I
want to watch shit on screen. I'll record my toilet flushing.
Let me ask you guys this: what have you guys been watching lately? Netflix or anything on TV or any funny?
I just caught up with Mandalorian. I got to go catch up on Picard because I stopped watching season 2 last year.
Okay. What about you, Ryan? Watching anything interesting these days? Doesn't have to be sports related.
No, I don't really. Well, I just watch my military documentaries.
All right, I'll leave it at that.
Pornhub for me.
Come on, Beto. You got to give us something better than that.
Is there anything better than that?
No,
not really.
Pretty much it, dude.
There, Clay's clothes.
My only thing is, if you got to pay for it, if you feel the need to pay for extra services when there's free sites, like that's the only thing. I'm like, really? There's everything there for free.
I'm Mexican. Everything should be free.
So Randy Daytona says, I've had stock in the XFL since 2003. Are you, well, I don't know about that. Yeah. So any final thoughts? Is sure anything you guys want to say about your channels, or you can start with First Take. Anything you got going on this week with your channel?
I think I got TED Talks Ball Wednesday.
I get a crack when I hear that.
6:30, and then
me and
Raj probably at 8:00. Things are a little bit in limbo right now with me this week because I'm not feeling the greatest. But yeah, and then I don't really have anything. I don't know if I'm doing anything this Thursday with
Raj
Sterling.
Raj is on Thursday, or so it's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Sterling Bennett. He's been a really great guy. Me and him just had issues with technical issues. I actually think I need to reboot my internet after this stream is over. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you need to give it a week and then come back. Maybe we'll have some more stuff.
It's all good, man. No hurry.
I don't know.
What about you, Ryan? Anything going on in your channel this week that you might want to talk about?
Yeah, I got Jess. Or tomorrow night, I got Beto and I and Mariah. We got a show, Niners and Friends. I believe it's on Beto's channel this week.
No, your channel.
Oh shit. Okay, so I'm gonna go set up that.
You want me to do it, but no, it's your channel.
It's my channel. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go set up the stream for that later. So check that out. I've got a stream with Jess on my channel on Wednesday. I've also got a stream with Jason Stevens on my channel, a Seahawks fan, on Wednesday. Raj on my channel Wednesday, and a call-in show, or Raj on my channel Thursday, and a call-in show on Friday.
There you got your hands full, man. Well, you better what's going on, man? 96 podcast.
Yeah, tomorrow. Well, it's not on my channel. It's on Ryan's, but it's Niners and Friends with Mariah and Ryan on Tuesdays, and then on Thursdays, all of us that are available with the 49ers podcast network as we're growing our channel, building that up on Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then on Saturdays at 5:15, I do my 49er trivia, and people seem to really like that. And come and join us on my channel if you're not doing anything on Saturday night, and bring your A game for some great trivia questions. And try to move on.
I finally had a chance to actually participate in the trivia. I kind of showed up late, but and then I know you did the duck race. Now, was that duck race that you did at the very end only for the moderators?
No, I did one for the moderators because they were helping me on the channel.
At the very end, you had the duck race for the moderators.
Yes.
Right?
Right prior to that, what I do, it's like the Price is Right. Come on down. So what I do is I have them pick a number between 1 and 100, and then I randomly pick a number. If you win that phase, you go to phase 2, and then I ask you a trivia question. If you get it right, then you move on to putting your name on the duck race list. Once I get 7 different contestants on that list, then we do the duck race, and the winner of that duck race not only wins a prize for the night, but they also get added to another list, which I'll be giving away a 3x5 49er flag to the winner of that contestant once I get to 10 participants. And Saturday for the first time, I did a moderator's first time race just to kind of give them a gift for helping me out throughout the show.
Okay, cool. Well, I was gonna say, you didn't put me in that duck race, man. I'm watching the duck race go by.
No. For those, and I made it clear. I'm putting in the ones that helped me throughout the show for the night, not just all my moderators, because I knew there were more. There was you and others. Okay. I go for those that helped me out tonight. from the beginning to the end of the ones that participated.
Okay, from beginning to end, because I showed up.
Yeah, so no, I didn't. No,
no
if
free
it
rides.
been all my monitors, you would have been at it, bro.
That's all good.
No
That's all
free
good.
rides, Bashar.
I'm a big fan of that duck race. I'm the guy that brought it to you guys' attention, so I take that to heart.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a duck race on the next time I host on here. I would have to come up with a good reason to put one together, but I want to see what's up to everybody in the chat. I know Tommy's here, Randy Daytona's here, all you guys. I try to shout out everybody. I don't think I missed anybody, but if I didn't say your name and you're in the chat and you're watching, I'll give you a shout out. Really, really quick. Why not? It's been a lot of fun, guys. It's a host of NWO podcast on my channel. Usually we run it on 49ers First Take channel, but we're trying to do a little round robin, try to rotate. And last week we did on No Border Sports. And again, if you're not subscribed to any of these other YouTube channels, hit the description box of this video. I have all their links to their channels there. And Tommy Huxley says, "Bash if it walks like a duck." Okay. Like Howard the Duck. I was a big fan of that movie back in the day. But thank you guys for watching the NWO podcast. It's going to be on next week on Beto's channel, Niner Sickness Podcast. So again, subscribe to his channel. He's going to host next Monday at 6:00. And this week, as far as guests I have, there's some guests that I was in talks with. I might do 3 shows this week or maybe have 2. And there's a few guys that are pretty good that I'm going to bring on. I don't really want to drop their names just yet because we don't have a set time yet, but I might do one tomorrow. If I do, just hop up my Twitter account. I usually announce the shows on there. And also on my community tab, on the 49er Mighty community tab for YouTube, I announce the shows on there as well. And that's it, man. So thank you guys for watching NWO.
Real quick, I just need to let all the viewers know I need a petition to be sent out to Aaron to please put my name back on the credits. I feel left out. I just missed 1 week and he threw me out like yesterday's trash. It's okay, but I'm not in my feelings.
On the intro, yeah. When we read the intro, it's a.
Well, I have the old one. It should be on there.
I'm messing with you, bro.
At least they let you talk.
I don't care about credits.
All right, so I was thinking about running my 49er Minded outro music, my old song. Otherwise, I could just end it with no music at all. So I know what you guys want.
It's your channel, bro.
All right, so we're going to end this right now, guys. Thank you guys very much. Keep repping those Niners. Let's go. Peace.
Come on, 49er Faithful, let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
We got to do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49er mind. It's 49er mind.
We gotta get that brick by brick done quick.
49er mind.
Yeah. Yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49er mind.
We from the Bay.
49er mind.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49er mind.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49